Ben's upset that he doesn't have a microphone. I can tell. Look at him. This is what Ben calls the trance. It's like the beginning of the Chappelle thing. He is angry. He is annoyed.
Ben needs to think about his entire life before he plays a show.
He is questioning his entire existence because the host of our show has taken his microphone. Poor Ben. Will he recover? Or will he die alone?
Why is it considered gross when blood comes out of a vagina, but cool when it comes out of a penis?
Oh. Should we explain that you're reading tweets? Or should we just let it seem like you came up with that on your own? Ben is really upset.
It's the Brett Davern Show. Brought to you by Nice Guy Digital. It recorded at the world famous Ballpark Music Studio in Studio City, California. Today's podcast brought to you by Beau Mirchoff in association with Ben Angry Collinsworth. My name's Marty Shannon. Now let's get Ben involved. See a lot of lawbreakers out there. My name's Marty Shannon. Now let's get to the guy who's graduated high school 3 times. And loves.
That's me. That's me.
And loves a good suntan lotion. But now, the lawbreaker.
Listen. Listen. Listen up, everybody. Listen up, everybody. This is the Brett Davern Show. I'll explain it in a minute. Thank you for listening on iTunes or your favorite podcast app. Entire episodes of this show are now on YouTube. All right. Oh, this show is free, and if you like what you hear, you can tell a friend about us. Also, if you could please take a second of your time to rate and review our little show, we'd really appreciate it. Also, we're doing that 1,000 subscriber giveaway, guys, and we are very close to the next 1,000 subscriber threshold. You guys have all been doing really well recommending this show to your friends. Keep it up. If you're brand new to the show, every time we get to the next 1,000 subscribers on YouTube or iTunes or any of the podcast apps or whatever, I'm going to send one of you something cool in the mail and as a prize. So make sure that you go to our website, click the free gift link, put in your address, sign up for the mailing list, because that's how you enter the contest. And one of you at random will get a piece of memorabilia type something or another that's been laying around the house. I got some really cool stuff. I got like a bunch of awkward stuff. I even have, I don't know if I should say this on the air or not, but I have Letterman jackets, Marty, hanging in my closet from the show.
Some more garbage.
They're like, no, they're like the actual jackets worn on the show. And I think the grand prize will be one of those. So if you want one of those, tell your friends to press subscribe.
Grand prize, though, would assume that there is a winner.
Yeah, there will be a winner. What do you mean?
How do you win?
You sign up for the mailing list, and then we pull your name out of a hat.
So it's random.
Yeah, it's like
you randomly win the grand prize.
Yeah, but you would say you win the raffle or whatever, wouldn't you?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think you would.
Grand prize just makes it seem like there's a first place.
I mean, that we are giving away when we get to a lot of subscribers.
Okay.
That's not like the first thing out the gate is all I mean.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll give out some of that stuff. Ben has left the show while we've been talking. You can't see him on camera, but he He
quit.
left.
He quit.
I decided to take Ben's microphone away.
Right.
Because just because I'm a son of a bitch. Because I'm a mean person.
Well, also it's just funny to see how mad he gets.
I think that's what it is.
I find it comical.
And I think I keep trying to explain to him that he's Ben is an only child, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, whatever. It just is what it is. But we both have brothers,
right.
You and I, Marty. And something you learn when you have a brother is that you just kind of shit on each other all the time.
Forever.
Forever. It's sort of just what you do, and you get used to it really quick. But if you don't...
If he didn't get so mad, we probably would just give him a mic because it's not funny anymore.
I've tried to tell him this before, and he won't listen to me.
Mm-hmm.
So we've absconded with Ben's microphone for this episode.
So he quit.
He walked out. I don't even know if we're recording right now, but...
Maddie,
I think
can you
we
see
are.
if we're recording? Okay.
We're recording? All right.
She says no.
Where'd he go?
Oh, he's right there.
All right. Oh, he's back? All right.
He forgot his laptop.
He just comes back and starts wildly unplugging things and then just walks out. Yeah. Well, whatever. So, Marty.
Brett.
On this episode,
Mm-hmm.
we were supposed to have a guest who you and I both know. His name is...
We both know him?
That's right. His name is...
No.
William Beau Mirchoff. Did you guys all know that Beau's first name is William, by the way? Yeah. Beau's first name is William. So
call him Bill.
You can call him Bilbo if you want. And if all of you start tweeting him right now, hashtag what's up Bilbo.
My life has just taken a meaningful hard
the hashtag
right turn.
should be hashtag was up, WUZ, in tribute to me not knowing how to spell. Was up Bilbo.
I can't believe this.
You didn't know that was his name?
I knew his name was William.
Mm-hmm. But you never put two and two together?
But then Bill, and then his middle name's Beau.
You know our very good friend Tommy always calls him Bilbo.
No.
You didn't know that?
No.
Our very good friend Tommy, who we both know.
Yes.
We both know him very well.
He
was a groomsman. He was a groomsman.
He's a hardcore Lord of the Rings fan.
At what I refer to as the blessed event. He was a groomsman. And anyway, every time we're hanging out with him and Beau's around, he calls him Bilbo. He just goes like, "Hey, Bilbo, throw me a beer." Never heard that?
I maybe just assumed, Beau, I get it, Bilbo. But it is Beau Mirchoff.
Here's what we're going to do.
Holy
Beau was
shit.
supposed to be on this episode, but he's like a busy Hollywood, super busy, cool guy today. And so he called me a couple days ago. Or no, it was yesterday. He called me yesterday, and he's like, "Hey, man, I can't do the podcast. I got a million things to do." And he does. And so I told him on the phone, I said, "Okay, fine, but that means we're just going to talk about you then for the length of time you were supposed to be on the show." And he said, "All right, fair enough." And he hung up. And so that's what we're going to do. As two friends of his, we know him pretty well. Mm-hmm. And without him here, I think it'll be fun to just talk about him for an hour.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
What a complete asshole.
Yeah, that's a good start.
Unmitigated dickhead.
I'll tell you something about William Beau, hashtag was up Bilbo Mirchoff. His corporation, here, peeling back the curtain a little more for everybody out there, a lot of actors are incorporated. It helps us not pay taxes.
Yeah.
Just like our president.
Correct.
It's actually not what it's for. It's for a million other reasons. But
part of
all of it.
Yeah.
You can write stuff off, but you do end up paying taxes. So that was a joke. But anyway,
the IRS
you have to
not
come up
listening.
with fun corporation names. Every actor has it. Ryan Gosling right now is walking around with a ridiculous name for his corporation. It's 100% fact. Beau's corporation, well, maybe I shouldn't say exactly what it is, but it definitely has Bilbo in there.
Oh.
So it's a little.
Jillian's is a dumb one too.
Jillian's is, I I thought I knew Jillian's.
So Read My Lips.
Oh, that's right. But Reed is
Her last name.
Yeah.
R-E-E-D.
Yeah. Molly Tarlov's got one. I'll save her from. I got a really stupid one. I got a really dumb one. Mine is the name of an exit on I-5. Yeah, let that sink in for a minute. Because I drive from here to Seattle a lot, and about 10 hours into the drive, there's an exit off of I-5, and that's the name of the corporation. It's the name of the exit, Incorporated. Just because I couldn't think of anything, and I was driving, and I saw it, and I was like, oh, there you go. Yeah. That's how arbitrary it is. Marty, what do you want to talk about with... Oh, wait, hold on. Cake Bams, everybody. Cake Bams, people. We've been talking about them for a while. Support our sponsors. Actually, a word about that really quickly. The thing is that if you support this show, and like I said, you guys have been doing really great with recommending it to your friends. If you really do support this show and you love what we're doing, then support our sponsors, because what happens is the sponsors are what allow us to keep doing this show. And it allows us to keep getting, better recording equipment and cameras, because right now we're only using one camera on YouTube, but we're getting into using 3 cameras, and you'll see that. That's all coming very soon. And the way that we're able to do that is through sponsors. So if you want to support the show and keep seeing the show evolve, then you, in turn, need to support our sponsors. We don't ask you to pay us directly for you consuming this entertainment like you do with most things. You pay $1 on iTunes for a song, or you pay $5 to rent a movie on iTunes or whatever. But we don't ask you to do that with this show. What we ask you to do is support our sponsors. And this is a really great sponsor, Cake Bams. Cake Bams are a delicious way, I should say, to enjoy rice cakes. They've taken organic brown rice cakes and frosted them with healthier yet yummy toppings spanning from citrusy, lemon, blueberry, which, by the way, I think that one is my favorite. It's absolutely delicious. Or they also cover them in dark chocolate and sea salt, matcha, green tea. Delicious. I love them. All of their products are gluten-free, and they use natural and organic ingredients. All super low calorie, but super tasty.
Better than heroin.
The dark chocolate and sea salt only has 90 calories, people, and 2 grams of sugar. I'm going to go ahead and say they're the official snack of models and actors everywhere. Because, we're all trying to keep our girlish figures. And there you go. That's our sponsor, Cake Bams. Go to cakebams.com, CAKEBAMS.com. Don't forget the S. And enter the promo code BDSBAM, as in Brett Davern Show, BAM, and get free shipping on all your orders. Marty, what is your favorite thing about William Beau Mirchoff?
My favorite thing is a thing I don't know that we can talk about on the podcast.
You want to write it down, and then I'll give you a thumbs up or a thumbs down?
Yeah.
Yeah, grab that thing there. You think about that for a second. And I will tell you that my favorite thing about William Beau Mirchoff is I don't know if we could talk about that or not. Marty just held something up in front of my face.
That's not. I'll find something else, which is it's hard.
Here's the thing: if he was sitting here, we could definitely talk about that. Sure. I'm just nervous that he would get mad at us. Yeah. My favorite thing about Beau Mirchoff is how well read he is. To be perfectly honest, my God, I am jealous of that guy's reading prowess.
Well, when you have nothing but time on your hands.
No, seriously. I mean, the dude is he's a single dude. He's living out there in the, in the general Hollywood area. You know what we should do, since he didn't show up? We should give out his address.
That'd be fine.
On the air. Beau lives at 123 Harry Guy Boulevard.
Or at very least where he is all the time. We could say that.
I think the general public out there doesn't really realize how hairy Beau is. That is a hairy, hairy man, and he's proud of it. Which, whatever, he should be, I guess. I don't know. But, man, that guy, he's got 2 sweaters on if he's wearing an actual sweater all the time.
He's always got one on.
Oh, That's true.
That's for sure.
He's always got one, even if he's shirtless. Oh, man.
Right, because of the hair.
Right.
Okay.
What's your favorite thing about Beau, though, other than the thing I don't know if we can talk about or not?
Well, did you say your favorite thing? Oh, how well
I said that he's
he was.
very well read. I mean, but he really is. I mean, that guy's like reading Faulkner and, Cormac McCarthy.
Yep. He's doing
Cormac
all the things
McCarthy.
that he should have done when he was 17.
Man, he just powers through them, too. But have we told this story on the air before that one time we were headed to Vegas and on a dude's trip, which, by the way, I got to talk to you. I want to start doing like an actual yearly dude's trip.
Yeah.
But I mean, I want to look back on this someday and be like, wow, we've been doing this for 27 years.
Agreed.
Like that kind of thing, you
I'm
know?
down.
Anyway, we were going on a dude's trip one time to Las Vegas. We were just going for one night only. When you live in Los Angeles, the one night only in Vegas is amazing.
And it comes with a lot of caveats. Like, if you know you're going to Vegas for one night, you're not really sleeping.
Right.
You're not sleeping.
No.
You're going to feel crappy the next day.
Right.
Yeah.
But you're going to get to
one
recover.
Of our friends went to the hospital.
That's true. But you're going to get to recover because you go just for the one night. And then, so you go Saturday morning, fly in, because it's like a half-hour flight, 40-minute flight. You fly in, you do Saturday night in Vegas, and then you get a flight out, like afternoon, Sunday, come back, sleep, go to work the next day. Who am I kidding? Go to work the next day.
Yeah, hilarious.
That's rich.
Nobody does that.
But the one night in Vegas is super fun, and we were on the way to the airport for this dude's trip. It was Marty and myself and William Beau Mirchoff and
Wilbo.
Neil Gargiulo.
Yep.
And our buddy Kevin.
So
Hamadani.
here's the game. One of those 5 people went to the hospital.
Yeah. Which one?
Who will it be?
Hamdani.
We'll never tell.
We went, but the point is we were all headed to the airport, and Marty and I, we were in the car together, and then Beau and Neil were in Beau's car together, and we called them to see if they were on the way to the airport, and they were, and we were chatting on the speakerphone over in the car, and we were like, man, so pumped for this trip to Vegas, and then Beau was like, hold on a second, can I read you guys something? And we were like, yeah.
We were in the car and we're talking, and it gets quiet, and Beau goes, yeah. You guys mind if I read you something real quick?
Can I read you guys something? And we were like, all right, yeah, sure. And he just started to read a paragraph from Moby Dick that was all about, like, the bubbling, briny deep and the great white whale.
The
and
landmen.
And they would go out in their canoes. And it was very descriptive and beautiful, by the way. And it went on and on and on
and on and on
and on and was all about the foamy mistress that is the sea.
Fun fact,
and,
he didn't finish till we got to Vegas.
And then he finished, and there was a quiet moment, and then we all went, Vegas! It was just so crazy. But that is Beau in a nutshell. He's into what he's into, and he delivers it with such passion that it makes you into it as well. And I respect that about him.
That's how I feel about when we make love.
You and Beau?
Yes.
When he wraps his chest hair around you?
Well, that's part of the reason I can't get away.
Swaddled in the chest hair that is
the sweater.
Bilbo.
Sweater man.
Did you ever say your favorite thing yet?
No.
All right. Well, hit us with one.
He is intensely genuine.
That's true.
Like not even to a fault. Like, it's just like, if he doesn't like something, he just won't do it. If he does like something, he'll dive into it as much as a person can dive into it.
You know what he's thinking all the time.
Yeah, he's not.
You never have to
bullshit.
guess. Yeah.
Can we talk about his plans for the next few months?
I don't know. I mean, I think so in general terms. Yeah.
He's hypothetically.
Because he doesn't even know if he's going to do it either. But.
Well, let's see. Look, he's the kind of guy who's just like, I'm gonna put my house up for sale, for rent.
For rent, not for sale.
For rent.
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy an RV, and I'm just gonna travel around America for 6 months.
Right.
And he just says it. He said it a couple months ago. And normally, especially in LA, if somebody says that, you're like, okay.
Yeah, everybody who lives here, especially people in the entertainment business, they always are just like, man, I'm thinking about getting out of here,
travel.
dude. I just, I read Call of the Wild, and I just want to go experience life, man. And there's a bunch of states out there, and I'm gonna we had Frankie Muniz in here, and he said he was gonna get a motorcycle and drive around the United States. Like, this is a common thing in LA, and everyone just goes, yeah, okay, sure.
Mm-hmm.
But
and Beau, when Beau said it, my first thought was, oh shit, well, I'm not going to see him for 6 months. Because I know that he's going to do it.
Yeah, what I wanted him to come in and talk about today was 3 weeks ago he called me and he was like, hey, so I think I'm going to Panama in a couple weeks.
Right.
And so I'm going to go do that. And I was like, okay. And then I tried to call him on a Thursday, and his phone went straight to voicemail.
Right.
I was like, oh. And then I texted him, and the text went unreturned for 6 days.
There's a lot of green texts I was sending him.
On the 7th day, I got a text that was like, oh, I was in Panama. And I was like, well, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That's old Wiley Bilbo off doing his thing.
He's an adventurer.
But
maybe it's in his
love
name.
it. I love it so much about him. Like he's reading about Ansel Adams right now. So
photography.
Yeah. So he's going to be exploring the national parks.
Like he's into a thing, and then he just does it.
I think what we're trying to say to all of you is if you're driving past a Walmart parking lot and you see an RV parked there all night, go knock on the door because there's a chance it's Matty McKibben.
That's true.
But you're not going to recognize him because he's going to have a beard and a lot of chest hair poking out of that V-neck.
God, can you imagine him 5 months in, grizzled, and just... He would probably look like the kind of shopping cart homeless man you see in, Hollywood.
Oh, it's so sexy.
What?
It's just so sexy. I'm thinking about it.
Homeless?
No, just him in the parking lot of a Walmart with his kettlebell, just doing some squats and burpees and, God, just dripping sweat, just glistening off of his forehead and then running. A single drop of it just running down his.
Are we going to be able to do a full show on talking about Beau?
I think so. What's your least favorite thing about Beau?
That's a good question. Maybe the same thing that I wrote down earlier that we can't talk about.
I got to tell you guys listening out there that our whole thing on this show now is that we're not beholden to anything and we don't care anymore.
Yeah.
And if you're listening, great, and we just hope to entertain, and it's just sort of a 40-minute, whatever. I hope you're listening. I got to tell you, I don't care if you're not listening anymore. Those of you that are listening, I love that you're listening, and I love each and every one of you, and I mean that so fervently. I really do love each one of you. And those of you who have stopped listening because you're like, oh, I don't want to hear these two idiots talk about their friend. Yeah, fuck you anyway. I don't care. What's your least favorite thing about him? I, by the way, think it's hilarious that we were supposed to have a guest on the show. What other podcast has a guest that just couldn't make it, and then they just start talking about the guest all day long? But not in a mean way, because we love him.
I'll be mean.
And he had a good because he had a good excuse. This is not in any way a retaliation. It's just I thought it'd be funny. And also I couldn't think of anything else to talk about.
Well, let's pull here. I have an idea.
What? You want to pull a topic out of the topic jar?
We're going to relate it to Beau.
Oh, okay. Marty's reaching into our bowl of topics.
All right. Hopefully it's not cats. I'd do that again. So how do we relate that to Beau?
How many people would think that about Beau Mirchoff?
Yeah, I'm sure.
I believe
can't get into specifics.
I believe that in all seriousness, I'd do that again is kind of the philosophy that Beau lives his life by.
Or I'll
he
do
just
that.
sort of does an experience and then he's like, I'd do that again.
Yeah.
And
then doesn't. Does something else.
No, I think he kind of does. We went to Amsterdam. We had a hell of a time.
Right.
We had in a good way, we had a great time. And then, a year later, he was like, I'd do that again. And he went right back to Amsterdam and had a great time.
By himself, though.
Yeah, but he still had an amazing time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
I think that is a perfect one to pull out for Beau.
Palm Springs, I'd do that again.
We were in Palm Springs for Molly Tarlov's wedding.
Yeah. And
a group of us, and we were all having a great time.
we were supposed to be there from Saturday.
We got in the day of the wedding. We got in
Saturday.
there Saturday, like at noon or noon-ish, something like that. The wedding was at 3:00. We were going to stay, obviously, that night because, you know, at a wedding, you go to the reception, you hang out, you party. And then we were going to wake up and leave, you know, casually or whatever, like not rush out, but leave the next day.
It's only like an hour and a half drive.
So we go to the wedding. We have a great time. Beautiful ceremony. Really great. Great venue. We haven't talked about Molly's wedding. I guess that could be a whole episode.
Yeah.
We should have her in here, though, too, to talk about it. But anyway, it was a great ceremony, beautiful occasion, everything. Great party, food, drinks, awesome, good dancing, all that stuff. And we were all there, filled with mirth and levity. It was great. And the next day, we all woke up late. Well, because me and Mrs. D, we got to leave the boy at home. So, vacation time.
Righteous.
For mommy and daddy. So, we got to sleep in a little bit. And woke up. We all convened by the pool at the hotel. Greer and Jillian and Beau and the whole crew. And Beau convinced everybody to stay an extra night that we all did not plan on staying for.
Supposed to leave Sunday, and Beau in his in his drunken charm, with a cigarette in his mouth,
that's right,
a towel wrapped around him, and his hairy everything.
I have got a picture on my phone of like the moment that he asked everyone to stay.
Yep, he was. That's a good picture. He should post
I gotta ask him if I can post that.
He convinced everyone to stay an extra day. Like, made everyone juggle their lives.
Yes,
just so he can stay. And then we all did, and we had a blast.
Because he said out loud, he said, "I'd do that again." Yeah,
we have a lot of wild memories, and I would do that again.
Oh my God, that night was insane.
We did a lot.
Actually,
of
that
stuff.
extra night, it was a lot of fun. We went to a beautiful Italian dinner. Ended up at a strip club.
A beautiful Italian strip club.
Then went to a casino. And then, other things.
And then
it was pretty nuts.
Some more other things.
Went to bed really late.
Real late. Some of us later than others.
Yeah. And Mrs. D and I got to share a room with Beau that night.
Yeah.
Because we went to the front desk. We were like, all right, I guess we're all staying another night. And they were like, well, your room, you got to get out of your room. And we're like, oh. And they're like, the only room we have left has 2 queen beds in it. And then Beau was like standing behind us, and he was like, perfect. We were like, all right. So, we shared a room. Oh, man. I've shared a lot of hotel rooms with Beau over the years, guys. Oh, man.
Santa Barbara, I do that again.
That guy does not like wearing clothes when he sleeps. I think it's because he gets so hot with the
sweater,
with the tracksuit on.
The velour.
the human hair tracksuit that he's wearing all the time. Oh boy.
Yeah. There's never been a bad trip.
No, it's always good trips. Always good and always fun. We always have a good time.
The one on the way to Santa Barbara, actually, you know what? So when we were driving up Santa Barbara to get your car.
Oh, yeah. I had a car one time, popped both tires on one side, and I had to leave it in
San Luis Obispo.
It's
about 3 hours. Really.
Yep. And then I had to drive back like a week later to get it, and I took Marty and Beau with me to get it.
Yeah, and so Brett had a rental, and he had to bring the rental back, pick up his car.
It was a sweet Dodge Challenger.
Yeah, and I get really viciously car sick.
You do.
Yeah. I'm never a passenger, which is odd. But like even Uber rides, I get pretty sick. So driving up, I'm feeling pretty shitty. There's a lot of traffic. It's no good.
Well, the stop and go is hard for anyone,
bummer.
I think.
Right.
Yeah, because it's like you're on a boat.
And so we're in this Dodge Challenger, like this. It's very. You hit the gas and you're thrown into the seat, and then we have to pull over a couple times, let me out, and just like take a breath. And you guys are real nice about that. Thanks. And then we
only called you a wuss a couple times.
It's okay. And we get to San Luis Obispo, and Brett takes his car. No, wait. Do you take your car and then Beau takes the Charger to the rental place?
Yeah, we needed someone to drive the rental car.
So I got in with Beau, And Beau immediately drives like he's in a race car movie with me in the passenger seat.
You mean like Born to Race 2 Fast Track?
He was like drifting around the corners. He's trying to peel out. I was like, "Hey, Beau, you remember 5 minutes ago when you had to pull over to make me vomit?" He's like, "Oh yeah, so sorry, dude." And then, like as he's saying it, slams on his brakes so hard that like my chest hits the dashboard. Like, Jesus, dude, take it easy. And he thought that was the funniest thing ever.
I will say about him, he is one of those dudes. This is another thing I actually kind of like about him because it's just funny to me. He is one of those dudes that like doesn't really know his own strength. So like, there's been times. Oh, okay, I'll give you. I know a story. So our beloved Seahawks, which we're both fans of,
right.
Beau and I both live and die with the Seahawks. The year that they, let's see. This is not the year they won the Super Bowl. This is the next year. They were playing the Green Bay Packers in the NFC Championship game, and it was the game where the Seahawks were just down by a bunch, like late in the fourth quarter. And they tied it up, and they went to overtime, and they ended up winning the game, and it was like an impossible comeback. Do you remember that game?
Yes.
And we were on set of Awkward shooting the show, and because we used to shoot on Saturday and Sunday, I think sometimes, because we would work at a real high school, so we had to shoot on days when the actual students weren't there. So we were on set as this game was going on. And you would think, okay, just DVR it and try to ignore it, but that's impossible nowadays. You're going to see something on Twitter, or one of the other people in the crew or on set is going to say something, "Oh, congratulations on the Seahawks win." And then we'll go, "Ah, crap," So we were paying attention to it. So I was shooting a scene and Beau was not. So he was on a break. So he was able to actually watch it. He found a TV or something, and he was watching the game. And I knew that it had gone into overtime, but we started shooting the scene. And I can actually tell you, all of you, what scene it was. It was the scene in which Jake and Gabby are meeting up in the gym to talk over this flag that's being made out of boxer shorts or something like that. It's like a kind of a dark, the gym is dark and it's just the two of us in there. Anyway, that's the scene that we were shooting. It was just Aaron Westbrook and I who played Gabby. Anyway, the point is that they yell cut, and from out of the darkness of the gym, I see Beau, and he's in full sprint across the gym, and he's coming out of the darkness, and he's yelling, "We won! We won! Oh my God, we won!" And I stand up, I'm like, "Oh my God, no way!" And he's like, "We just scored a touchdown!" And he's running, and I stand up, and we go to do the thing that the cool super cool athlete heroes of ours do, which is jump in the air at the same time and collide your bodies into each other. And then you just land on your feet, high five, and you have a moment. And I see him coming, and I'm like, we're going to do this thing, and it's going to be really cool. And we both leave our feet. I mean, he's got to outweigh me by like 60 pounds.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I mean, the dude is built like a brick shithouse.
It's a good 7
and
inches
he
tall.
launches, and he hits me, and I go flying. And land on my tailbone, just on the hardwood floor. Oh, it hurts so bad. And I'm like trying to play it off, like, "Oh no, it's cool, it's cool, it's cool." And he's just kind of like, "What happened?" Like he's like, "What?"
Like Baby Huey.
Oh my God, it's happened so many times where he'll just like casually like punch me in the arm, and he's good natured, you know. And my arm, I can't move my arm for a day. Like he's like, it's so funny.
I was gonna. I don't. This
He
is
does
not
not
really
know his own strength.
Off topic, but Kevin Hamadani once knocked one of your wall hangs off and hit one of your visitor friends in the head.
That's right.
That was one of my favorite moments.
I
I think Beau was there.
Beau was there for it. Yeah, that's true.
And Kevin immediately blamed it on somebody else.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, I love him. That's good enough. We don't have to talk about it.
It was
anymore.
Neil. Neil's the one who went to the hospital.
I think the moral of this episode is that you all need to tweet at Beau Mirchoff, "Was up, Bilbo?"
Bilbo.
Just for our Marty and I's amusement.
Real quick, if you guys don't know what Bilbo is, it's Lord of the Rings. Bilbo Baggins.
Yeah. I think also we should stop explaining things to
Frodo's
people.
uncle.
Yeah.
Anyway.
They should know that.
They
though.
should.
That was a big movie.
But they don't.
Really?
Of course they don't.
Oh, you know what else?
What else?
really just talking about what listeners do and don't know.
Mm-hmm.
On an earlier episode, I joked around about being part of the Hollywood elite.
Oh, God.
And
Wasn't a
I've
joke.
been getting tweets ever since that, like, in earnest and sincerely say, how did you become a member of the Hollywood elite?
It's a club.
Or it'll say, like, are you really a Hollywood elite? And it's like...
Love from Brazil.
No, guys, it's sarcastic. It's a joke. There's no such thing as a Hollywood elite. I'm making fun of the fact that there is no such thing, because if there was such a thing, I would not be invited in.
No, definitely not.
No, I mean, no, I wouldn't be.
You know,
and I'm poking fun at the fact that all these people right now are going like, oh, this Hollywood elite person wants to force their views on me, and I'm just joking. I'm making fun of it.
in 2017, Brett,
Yeah.
gender's dead,
Mm-hmm.
and so is humor.
I just find it funny that people take everything so seriously now. Like enough, they don't just go, oh, that's probably a joke. They just take it so seriously. There's no such thing as the Hollywood elite.
Not that you know about.
Also, there's not really an A-list. Also, I don't think people understand that. No, I mean there is, but there's
no list.
There's no list written anywhere. I don't think people understand that. Like a lot of people out there are like, oh no, that guy's like probably B-list, C-list. It's like you can say that,
Yeah.
but there's no real list.
I've seen an actual list. Yes,
Ben, shut up. God.
Ben had a mic.
I'm changing Ben's name to shit on points. Shit on.
it wasn't a point.
You know,
You're wrong.
you know people that I was just talking about that take everything literally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think people can do the math on that one.
There's no established international list.
Ben would literally be the worst improviser in the history of improvisation.
But then that might be funny in its own right.
The absolute worst.
Could be funny.
He thinks it's funny when he mutes my microphone,
What?
but
What'd you say? I can't hear you anymore because your microphone's muted.
ha 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 ha.
Kick bams.
Marty, how you doing?
They can't hear you because you never talk loud enough.
Brett, I got 2 cards in my hand. Oh, you pick this or that.
All right, turn it back on so we can end the show.
Please.
All right, there we go.
End my life.
She's so funny. There's not an actual list, guys. Actually,
There is
there is. No, there's fucking not. Yes, you've been to an event where they had a list of people who were attending,
on a
but there's no fucking list that
Hollywood.
says A, B, C, D. There's not. That's a wrap, everybody, on another edition of the Brett Davern Show. Thank you out there for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing for free on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts. Remember, this podcast is always free, and it always will be. The only thing we ask is that you recommend it to a friend. Come on, everybody. Tell your friends. We're getting really close to that next 1,000 subscriber threshold, and I will send you a pair of yoga pants or a Camp Puka t-shirt or an awkward clock.
I've worn them all. And the clock.
That's true.
How do you wear a clock? I did.
Yeah, boy.
No.
He knew how to wear a clock.
Rest in peace.
He's not dead, I don't think. Is he dead?
Might be.
I don't think he's dead.
It's dead to me.
You think more people know the Bilbo reference or that? No, more people know Bilbo than...
Flava Flav? No, I think more people know Flava Flav.
That is that's a real toss-up right there.
I bet.
Let's put the poll up on Brett Davern's Twitter account, and we'll get the answer for you guys. Who is more well-known around the world? Bilbo, but don't say Baggins, just Bilbo. Or no, should you say Bilbo Baggins?
How about do you know who Bilbo Baggins is, or do you know who said yeah boy?
Yeah, I guess so, right?
It's
I think we should just actually ask the question, who do you think is more well-known around the world? Bilbo Baggins
or Flava Flav.
or Flavor Flav? Flava Flav. Yeah.
I bet you it's Flava. Rest in peace.
Still not dead.
Say I love my job, Producer Ben.
Goodbye, Producer Ben.
See? Great yes and, right?
That's good. Dr. God Comedy.
Ben Collinsworth is on Twitter at Grumpy Cajun. Direct all your tweets to that.
There's a gumbo restaurant in New Orleans called that.
Grumpy Lumpy Cajun.
Grump a lot of cage.
My pal Marty Shannon, his latest album is called 2600. You can find it on BrettDavernShow.com, or it's also streaming on Spotify.
Oh, yeah.
I cannot control the volume of my voice.
Please listen to it on Spotify.
Marty's next album is going to be called Bring It Home, so check that out.
Oh, yeah.
Be sure to tune in to all the episodes of the Brett Davern Show to not miss a minute of this beautiful podcast. We love you, and we like the rabid fans more than the casual ones. Don't forget that. Marty Shannon also has these words for everybody.
Oh, boy. A lot of bones. Beau Mirchoff.
Marty is on Twitter at Marty_Shannon. As for me, I'm Brett on Twitter at BDAV, BDAVV. And I want to remind all of you to be kind and take care of each other. That was our show. Good night, Beau's fake tooth.